What's going on with y'all, man? Back at it.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. What's going on with y'all, man? Yeah, man. Back at it, man. Snax on Sportz, man. I'm back with another one. It's been a minute, man. It's been like 2-3 weeks since I did a Snax on Sportz, bruh. It's just been that type of month for me. You know what I mean? Life been, these bills been slight way kicking my damn ass, man. You know what I mean? And yeah, so I just been having to handle business, man. I ain't really been having time to just sit down for a few hours. Once I get my shit monetized and all that, and I continue to build my shit up, you know what I'm saying? Then I can sit down on this motherfucker all day, every day, like the rest of these motherfucking YouTubers, but I ain't there yet. So until then, you know what I mean? I got to get out in these streets, man, get this money. So, but anyway, you know what I mean? It was always gonna come back around. You know what I mean? I'm back at it. Hopefully I could be more consistent going forward. But yeah, Snax on Sportz, be back with another one, man. Yeah, we finna talk about it. We in the playoffs, man. We in the NFL playoffs. We in the postseason. So I'm watching this little Dallas Mavericks Atlanta Hawks game on ESPN too. But yeah, we in the postseason, man. From the middle of the regular season until until the playoffs started, I ain't really been able to do a whole bunch of weekly recaps. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know what I mean? It's just been a lot of shit going on. But now that we in the postseason, and it's turned the fuck up now, you know what I mean? I definitely gonna be back at it, doing these little weekly recaps after each each weekend, each playoff round. You know what I mean? So we here now. So this past weekend, we had Wildcard weekend. You know what I'm saying? And that was dope. So let's recap these games, man. Wildcard weekend, some great games, some dope games, some embarrassing games as far as like the results and how the game started and how they hit it and all that other shit. But yeah, so first game of the weekend was Seahawks Niners. My team, the Niners, we went on ahead, did what the fuck we were told to do. You know what I mean? And that's put foot in ass, man. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the game was close. For about the first half or whatever. I wasn't never worried about nothing. These motherfuckers on TV, all these Niner haters, or all the, especially these punk ass Cowboys fans, they need something to make themselves feel good and feel better about this matchup coming up this weekend. So they holding on to, oh well, y'all couldn't, it was a close game. Matter of fact, y'all was down by 1 point at the half. You know what I mean, against the Seahawks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's supposed to mean something. What the fuck do that mean? Did you see what the final score was, my brother? It's 4 quarters to a game, not 2. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck if we was down by 7 points at the half, 14 points at the half, if we ended up winning the game, which we did. So, but they scared. Cowboys fans, they scared. They know. They know for a motherfucking fact. Yeah. We fit to put foot up in ass, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. Niners, we came out on top, 41-23. I mean, it's a divisional matchup. You know what I mean? The matchup is always tough. I don't give a fuck what the record is in all the divisions across the NFL. Those divisional matchups, whether regular season or postseason, is majority of the time they always tough. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter who playing good, who playing bad. You play a team in your division, there's a lot of little mini rivals, mini little rivalries. You know what I mean? So, you try to put your best foot forward. So I'm not surprised that, I mean, the Seahawks, I mean, they made the playoffs. They wasn't just no bum ass team this year. You know what I'm saying? They made the playoffs. And Geno Smith played well this year, regardless of what the rest of his career, you know, what he did the rest of his career. This year, you know, he done his motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? He was shit for like the first 6-7 weeks of the season. He was damn near in the MVP conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously, you know, they tailed off, you know what I mean, towards the end or whatever, but they played well enough this season to get a playoff berth. And they played a good game against us. You know what I mean? For like the first half, and then we did what we do and what we supposed to do in the second half. Put the game away, man. Going on and move on, man, to the next round. So, Niners over the Seahawks. Good season, Seahawks. But, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We had to send your motherfucking ass home with a L, man. That's just what the fuck we had to do. You know what I mean? We got unfinished business. You know what I'm saying? We trying to get to that motherfucking bowl thing, man. You know what I'm saying? So, next game. The next game we had, and that was the first game of the weekend, you know, on Saturday. The next game was the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, that's what I mean when I said some embarrassing shit happened this weekend. That it's just embarrassing, bro. Now, not Justin Herbert. I like Justin Herbert. I think he's a great quarterback, great young quarterback. And he got a future on him. I mean, the future is now already. But, you know, the Los Angeles Chargers had a 27-0 lead in this game. 27-0. That's 4 scores, bro. Okay. Now, I mean, and at the half, it was 27-3. I'm sorry, bro. If you just run the ball, if you just damn near just run the ball the whole second half, you gonna win the game. I mean, obviously, unless you just going 3 and out. But if you can find a way to get just a few first downs off just running the ball in the second half, you win that game, bro. You know what I mean? Run the ball and just milk the clock. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I understand things happen, you know, and comebacks happen and stuff like that. You're not supposed to lose that game up 27-0 and up 27-3 at halftime. You just not. Yeah, we've seen it before. 28-3. Okay, in the Super Bowl. You know, New England Patriots against the Atlanta Hawks. We've seen it before. I'm just saying it should not happen, bro. It should not happen. Now, in the Super Bowl, when it happened, obviously Atlanta helped New England out with a few turnovers in the second half or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe that the Chargers even turned the ball over in the second half. They just choked the game away. You know what I mean? And a lot of it has to do with coaching. This guy, what's the Los Angeles Chargers coach name? He's a young cat. Los Angeles Chargers. Staley. That's his name. Brandon Staley. The Los Angeles Chargers head coach, his name is Brandon Staley, and I mean he got a few of these already in his coaching career. It's only been like 2-3 years. I mean he didn't fucked off. He fucked off some shit last year towards the end of the year that had them miss the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying, man, it was shocking to me because I was watching that game, right? But I didn't watch the whole game. When I left my house to go do whatever the fuck I went to go do while that game was on, Chargers versus Jaguars, it was 27-0. It was 27-0. And then I happened to check. I wasn't watching the second half, but I was able to check the score. And the next time I checked the score, I did see that they were making a somewhat of a comeback. I still didn't think that they was gonna win the game. I think the next time I checked the score, it was 30-20. They were still up. They were up by 10. And so, yeah, that's a significant little. That's only 2 scores down at that point. But I didn't see the Chargers losing this game still, even with me seeing that the score was 30-20, just because they was up by so much. I just felt like they gonna find a way to win, to not let these motherfuckers win the game. And then I was told by a friend that I went to go pick up, because I forgot all about the game because I was doing some more other shit. And then I was told that they lost. So how I found out that the Chargers won the game was, you got to think, it was 27-0 when I left. Then the next time I checked on the score, it was 30-20, I believe, in the fourth quarter, early fourth quarter. Something like that. So, and then the next time I heard about the game, the Jaguars won 31-30, and that just floored me, bro. I absolutely could not believe it, and it's like wasn't mad or nothing like that. I mean, my team. It's just, for one, I will say this: I had the Chargers in the Super Bowl this year. My preseason prediction, I had the Los Angeles Chargers in the Super Bowl representing the AFC. That's how much I believe in Justin Herbert. Okay? And obviously, their season didn't pan out that way. They ended up making the playoffs. They should have beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they should be playing against the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend. Okay? But they just choked it off. I guess Bosa had an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the wrong time. Just a lot of shit happened, bro, and they end up choking that game away. And to go from me in my head knowing, okay, it's 27-0, then it's 30-20 with not a lot of time left, or at least with a lot of I'm not gonna say not a lot of time left, but it being the fourth quarter. And then the next time I hear about the game, the team that was up 27-0 lost. I'm like, bruh, they choked that game away like that? Shit's just wild, bro. So yeah. But hey, congrats to the Chargers, man. They did what they had to do. This brother, and what makes us bro, I watched this game in the first half. This brother, Trevor Lawrence, I watched him throw 4 interceptions in the first 2 quarters of the game. I mean, this brother looked like the worst quarterback ever played in the NFL in that first half, dog. I mean, he was throwing it to everybody but the niggas that was wearing the same color jersey he got on. If your jersey color was a different color than the one he was wearing, he was throwing it to your ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way that is. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, so, I mean, to just have a straight flip-flop like that, and I didn't even get to see the second half of the flip-flop, I was just like, damn. Well, hey, Chargers, that's what happened. You don't know how to, you don't know how to win. You don't know, and I'm talking about them niggas was celebrating and hitting jumping jacks, doing all type of shit. One nigga had 3 interceptions. I think it was Asante Samuel Jr. I think he played for is it Asante Samuel Jr.? Man, this shit crazy, bruh. So yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars end up pulling off that game and winning 31-30. Trevor Lawrence, he played the total opposite of what he played in the first half. And yeah, I mean, and so motherfuckers thought Brandon Staley was gonna lose his job. I thought he was gonna lose it too, but he didn't lose his job. But some offensive coaches lost their job. You know what I'm saying? So what that means is this upcoming year it's gonna be on him. He got to make a run. He got to make a deep run into the postseason in order to keep his job. Otherwise, his ass is grass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Jacksonville is moving on. They will be playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, yeah, that's what happened with that. It was just shocking, bro. Next game we had, so we go into the Sunday's games now. Miami Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills. Miami was without Tua Tagovailoa. He got them concussion issues, so yeah, they didn't play him. And Buffalo, this is the thing with me and Buffalo, man. Like, the Bills are a good team. They're a great team, but they can be had, bro. Like, they Josh Allen is a great quarterback, but he's a turnover machine, bro. He just is. He's just a turnover machine. So, and the Bills, they have a good team, but they you can get them, bro. Like, Miami was, I believe, was playing with a third string quarterback, my nigga. You know what I mean? Now, he might be a backup, but I believe he's a third string. But like I said, he might be a backup. I don't know. But what's going on now? But whatever he is, bro, he ain't Tua. And even Tua has only shown himself to be like just like an average quarterback, or maybe slightly above average this year, you know. But I say that to say that, I mean, you would have. They was talking about this game going to the game like the Bills was just gonna blow this team out. They ain't got Tua. They ain't got their starting quarterback. This thing, yeah. The Bills gonna blow them out, and it was anything but that. Miami had the lead late in the game, up until, you know, it was going back and forth at one point. You know what I mean? And then, you know, Buffalo finally took somewhat control of the game, but it was still, the game was still, you know, a contested game, you know, up until late in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just say that to say, man, that, you know, the Bills ain't just, what's up now? Oh shit, just doing a little Snax on Sport, a little live on their yeah. Oh yeah, I see you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Bills ain't just some old, they're a great team, but they not no juggernaut that you know, because you can definitely get Josh Allen to turn the ball over, and their defense is not as advertised like at the beginning of the year. Probably because, if I'm not mistaken, I believe Von Miller I believe he's out. You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, Von Miller is a big time, big game player, Super Bowl champion. I believe he's a Super Bowl MVP when the Broncos won it in 2015. But yeah, man. So he's out, and so you know, obviously that's gonna make and he's been out for a while, so that's gonna make your defense not as good. And yeah, he's just not their defense ain't as good as everybody thought it was gonna be. The Bills are they can be had, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's any given Sunday. And, you know, that's why they play the games. You got to play the games. It ain't just looking at the roster and be like, oh, this team, you know, you got to play the games. But still, like the way that they played, if they play like that against a better team, they're going to lose, bro. It just is what it is. But, hey, at this point of the year, at this time of year, it's win and move on. You know what I mean? It's you know, it's survive in advance, you know. So they did enough to survive. They still alive, and they still playing. So that's all that matter. But they got the Bengals this week, and the Bengals just went up against Baltimore. Baltimore was also without their starting quarterback. They were without Lamar Jackson, who got the little knee injury or whatever. Plus, he wanted his damn money. Baltimore, pay that man. Okay, pay that man. Yeah, Cincinnati. You know, they I would have thought maybe they would have won a little bit more convincingly too, but both of those games, you know, the Bengals and the Ravens and the Bills Dolphins are both divisional games. So, like I said, them divisional games, you know what I'm saying, always are a little tougher, just for whatever reason. They just seem like they is. But I mean, both of these teams, you know, in both games, one of the teams didn't have their starting quarterback. So you think that would give and both teams that did have their starting quarterbacks did end up winning the game. But yeah, you know, Cincinnati, you know, they got the win, and that's all that matters. You know what I mean? They went and got the win. I would say I think that Cincinnati looked a little better in their win than the Buffalo Bills looked in theirs. But even though the Buffalo Bills scored more points in their win than the Bengals scored in their win, but I don't know. I just feel like the Bengals looked a little better. You know what I mean? Even though and their win was a little bit more well, I can't say that it was a little more convincing, because, you know, them motherfuckers turned it over at the 1 yard line, and motherfucker ran it back, and the Bengals ran it back for a 99-yard fumble recovery touchdown. You feel me? So, you know, if that don't happen, who knows what happens. But I still feel like the Bengals would end up winning that game. You know what I'm saying? But once again, hey, in the playoffs, win and move on. Survive in advance. You know what I'm saying? And then we had next game we had was the Giants, New York Giants against the Minnesota Vikings. Who's really surprised that the Vikings lost? Nobody's surprised that the Vikings lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've been fraudulent all year. And most people, media, former players, for the most part, had been saying it. It's been, you know, it's always one or two out there that's, you know, still, you know, because at the end of the day, you do have to respect their record and what their record was. You know what I'm saying? I believe the Niners, I believe we ended up 13-4. So I believe they were 12-5. You know? And let me see. And so no, they were 13-4, just like us. They were 13-4, but we held the tiebreaker over them for whatever reason. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, we held the tiebreaker. I don't know why. It might be some percentages or whatever. I don't know. But we held the tiebreaker because us, the Niners, we were 13-4 too. You know what I'm saying? And come on, man. Let's try this again. Yeah, we were 13-4 as well. So, you know, we own a tiebreaker because we ended up getting a 2 seed and they was a 3 seed. But they had a 13-4 record. So you got to respect that. I mean, but it's just that a lot of the wins were barely squeaking them out over inferior teams or supposed inferior teams compared to who they supposed to be and what their record was. A few other games were comebacks where they was down big and end up coming back winning the game. And in those type of games, it's 50-50. I mean, you could, if you get down big, get down extremely big like they was against the Colts. I think it was like 33-0 or some shit, 30-0 or some shit like that. It could end up 50-0. You know what I mean? But so just because they came back and won the game, you know, which is it's almost like an insurmountable comeback. It's like that is very impressive. But why you keep getting down like that to these bad teams? And then you see once you play a better team, a playoff team, you know, you're not able to overcome it. So, you know, and then they had other games where they completely got blown out this year, straight blown off the fucking field. In those games, they didn't come back, like against the Cowboys, you know what I mean, and against another one of them teams. But they just looked suspect all year. The Vikings did, you know what I'm saying? So ain't nobody surprised that they lost that. They lost, you know, they lost this wild card game against the Giants. It's not surprising. They just an okay team. You know what I mean? They were able to squeak out some wins and get some wins that maybe they probably didn't deserve to get, which made their overall record better. But they end up getting it, so you know it is what it is. But so the Giants, you know, they win against the Minnesota Vikings 31-24. Daniel Jones performed his ass off. Saquon Barkley is doing his thing. That defense is looking good. And the Giants is kind of still under the radar though, but hey, they won a playoff game. Daniel Jones won a playoff game. So got to give him respect. And now they move on to play the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll see what happens with that. I think the Giants got action. I'm not saying they gonna win, but you know what I mean. They got action for sure, though. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles might have a little bit of that Minnesota Vikings shit in them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think they're a better team than Minnesota, but I wouldn't be surprised at all, not even the slightest, if the Giants beat the Eagles. I would not be surprised. You know, so and then the final game of Wildcard weekend was Monday night. You know, the Dallas Cowboys against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. once again, definitely not surprised at the outcome of the game, seeing how Tampa Bay had played all year. It's just that the way they were just so thoroughly dominated. And this is more. I'm sorry. I'm not this type of, because I hate when the media does when they when a team wins or whatever, and the media say, oh well, they didn't play nobody, this that blah blah. Like that's I never liked that fucking argument. To me, that's a dumb fucking argument. You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid as fuck. However, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the 2022 Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the worst playoff team to ever make the playoffs in NFL history. Like straight up. I know they're not the first team to have a losing record and make the playoffs because they were 8-9. You know what I'm saying? I believe the 7-9 Seahawks made the playoffs, and that was the year where Marshawn Lynch had that run, that legendary run against the New Orleans Saints when he broke hella fucking tackles and shit. That year, you know what I'm saying? So they're not the first team they're not the first playoff team. It don't happen a lot, but they're not the first to make the playoffs as with having a losing record. It's just they were not a good team this year, bro. They made the playoffs because they were the best team in a bad division. You know what I'm saying? So somebody from that division got to make it, and they just that game, bro. So I say all that to say, yeah, the Cowboys won. They did what they were supposed to do, and this is Tom Brady. This is the greatest football player of all time. Okay, but the team, for whatever reason, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I know they just won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Last year, they weren't as good as they were. Even if you look at their Super Bowl year, they didn't even win in their division that year. They didn't win their division. They won the Super Bowl out of the Wildcard position. And what they did was they caught fire towards the end of the season. They won their last 4 games, took that momentum into the playoffs, and ended up winning the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Because they got Tom Brady. He knows how to win. Now, in those last 8 games of the year, the last 4 games of the regular season, and then the 4 games in the playoffs, yeah, those last 8 games, the defense played out of its mind. You know what I'm saying? And the whole team stepped up and played out of its mind. But last year, they still were a good team, but I don't think they played at the level that they played the last 8 games of their Super Bowl year. And then this year, they just totally fell off the map, just as far as like what I really think happened. For one, I'm sorry, but to me, Todd Bowles is not a good head coach, bro. I will give him defensive coordinators. Some coaches are meant to be coordinators. I think he's one of them. Okay, go look at his time and his stint with the Jets when he was the head coach of the New York Jets. They was putrid, dog. You know what I mean? Just straight a horrible team, bro. And this same team, I'm not blaming it all on coaching. I'm just saying sometimes I believe that the team takes on the personality of the head coach. If you look at, I think they should have kept Bruce Arians. If you look at Bruce Arians, he stayed on niggas' ass. You know what I'm saying? He kind of, he kind of made you kind of stay on your P's and Q's. Todd Bowles, if you look at the way he talk in his press conferences, he's so soft-spoken and laid back and, quiet about it. His demeanor is like, and that's a good thing, you know what I mean, in life. But I think the team took that personality, took on that personality and just was just laid back and just lackadaisical, and because they just the whole year to me, Tampa Bay just, I mean, both units, offense and defense, they just didn't seem like they was into it. Like they still on that Super Bowl hangover. Like a lot of the motherfuckers are satisfied with that one ring that they got. Like, shit, I got my ring now. Now I'm just going through the motions, dog. I'm just playing for the money now, and that's how they played this year. Not all of them, but I feel like the majority of the team. That's just what I was seeing, because I just don't see how you can go from being, you know, like, I'm not saying I understand how you can go from a Super Bowl winner to a bad team. Look at the Rams this year, but usually a Tom Brady led team don't drop like that. You know what I mean? And this year, they just don't they just didn't have it this year. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't have it, and you know, the Bucks. I don't know what happened to the Bucks this year, but it was not the same team. You know, I heard Shannon Sharp say that on one of the shows over the past couple of days. It's just, whatever reason, it was not the same team. You know, I know they came into the season, Brady was going through a lot of that bullshit. You know what I mean, with his marriage and divorce and all that other shit. You know what I mean? He was doing some uncharacteristic things at the beginning of the season, taking time off and this and that. You know what I mean? When you really supposed to be locked in, getting ready for the season. So, you know, but, and like I said, the coaching changed. You know what I mean? I think it was a mistake. Whoever's decision that it was, you know, I'm hearing that Tom Brady is the one that kind of quarterbacked that move. You know what I'm saying? To get Bruce Arians moved upstairs and let Todd Bowles be the coach. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You know, the Bucks, the Dallas Cowboys, you know, handed them an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? A straight up beatdown. And Brady didn't look good. Brady didn't look good at all. You know what I mean? I'm not absolving him either, because that interception that he threw in the red zone. Come on, bro. Like, I was telling myself, like, y'all already not as good as y'all should be this year, or you know what I mean? You know, y'all fragile. You know, y'all got to start the game out well against a good team. You know, I know they had one or two little comebacks this year against bad teams, but against a good team like the Cowboys, you got to start out well. You know what I'm saying? And then let that momentum carry you the rest of the game. And to have the opportunity to score a touchdown early and tie the game up 7-7, you know, and then for Tom Brady to squander that and throw a red zone interception, which was his first red zone interception in his whole career. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was telling myself, bro, you cannot be with the team being as fragile as it is. You can't be the reason that they fuck up and lose. It got to be somebody else. It got to be one of these other motherfuckers, one of these inferior players. You know what I mean? But if you out there fucking up Tom Brady, y'all don't got a motherfucking chance. So soon as, and that's exactly what happened, man. Soon as he threw that red zone interception, from that point on, the rest of that game was over. You know what I mean? Dallas went down there and scored another touchdown. and now they was up 12-0. You know what I mean? They kicker kept missing the point afters. But yeah, it was just bad. So, yeah, the Cowboys end up winning that. Dak looks great, and like I said, I'm not surprised that the Cowboys won. I'm kind of, not surprised at how they won, but I didn't think it would be that bad, as far as, they just look like the Cowboys just looked like it looked like varsity against junior varsity. You know what I'm saying? And with it being the postseason, which is a new season, you wipe the slate clean. Fuck what happened in the regular season, and with the Bucs having Tom Brady, you know what I mean? I think a lot of us that are Cowboy haters, you know what I mean, and that are fans of other teams that want to see the Cowboys lose, we just felt that, that it's easy to see the Cowboys losing that game, and to see Tom Brady just, doing his thing and sending the Cowboys home. And so I just felt like that is what was going to happen. Like, it was going to be a close game. You know what I mean? Tom Brady was going to pull it out in the end, or the Bucs were going to dominate and win. And it was the total opposite. Yeah, the Cowboys dominated. So yeah, man, that's wild card weekend was pretty dope. And now we'll see what Brady does. You know what I mean? Going forward, he said he wanted to play to his age 45 year, which was this year. But knowing, like I said, Tom Brady been my favorite player for almost 20 years now. So if not the full 20 years, so knowing the Tom Brady that I know, you know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna want to go out like that. So I wouldn't be surprised either way, bro. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if he retired and stay retired this time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he come back. You know what I mean? Because I think he realizes that there's a high probability that he may not, because it's not, everybody don't just end their career winning the Super Bowl, walking off as a Super Bowl winner. You know what I'm saying? That's just not how it usually goes. And so I think he knows that, but I definitely do think that he at least wants to end it off on at least a higher note. Like, for example, how they ended it off last year. You know what I mean? Last year, you know what I mean? He was still playing, like an MVP. And then even though they lost in the second round against they lost in the divisional round against the Los Angeles Rams. And they had got down kind of big in that game too, but the comeback was Brady-like, you know what I mean? It was vintage Brady. And then they had that secondary gaffe where they let this nigga Cooper Rush, or what's the name, Cooper Kupp, get fucking wide open and get, you know what I mean? So whatever. But the way the game ended, though, it was a close game. It was a contested game all the way down to the end. And then, so if he would have retired off that, that's a better look than how he. So I think if I would put my money on it, I would say I would lean 60. Before the season, I said that he was retired after this season. Now, the way it ended, I'm going to lean 60-40 that he comes back for one more year. However, if he does retire, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at that either, because he still, whether he come back or not, he ain't got nothing else to prove. You know what I mean? An 8th Super Bowl ring would not make it. It wouldn't change nothing. He's all ready to go. You know what I'm saying? He's already the greatest quarterback of all time. So, you know, he got 7 rings now. 8 ain't gonna change that. So, you know, but at the end of the day, if he want to still keep, because he can still play, you know what I'm saying? So, if he wants to still keep playing, you know what I mean? Keep playing. You know what I mean? If somebody will, if a team will have you, I don't give a fuck. Motherfucker, man, he need to retire, man. He get, you know, this and that, blah, blah. I mean, I even said that, you know, during the game. When the game, I posted that on Twitter. I tweeted that, like, man, Brady need to retire, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But that's just me being in my feelings in the moment with him being my favorite player and just seeing how the game was going. That's just me, you know, just being in my feelings at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be mad either way, whether he retire or he come back. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad either way, but just as a fan, I would love to see him come back and play another year, just to see him continue to play. Because once it's done, man. And once you can't play no more, you ain't gonna, you know. So, yeah, I wouldn't have no problem at all with him continuing. All right, so now those were that was the recap of Wildcard Weekend. Bam. Now, divisional playoffs. So now coming up this weekend, we got the divisional round. Okay, so we got the Jacksonville Jaguars against the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the New York Giants against the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the Cincinnati Bengals against the Buffalo Bills. And we got the Dallas Cowboys against the San Francisco 49ers. So I'm going to just go down the line. First game on Saturday, Jags against Chiefs. I expect the Chiefs to win. I expect the Chiefs not to play around. I mean, it may be a close game for a little while or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised at that, but I expect the Chiefs to eventually pull away and win this game. You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes is on another level, man. He's absolutely on another level. I ain't never seen no shit like this. Yeah, he's the best quarterback in the league. And that's just what that is. You know what I'm saying? That Patrick Mahomes is the only entity, the only motherfucker in the league that I have fear of, that, you know, the Niners may not be able to get it done. Only him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's something else, man. You know what I'm saying? He's something else. So yeah. I got KC over the Jags. And real quick, before I continue on with the divisional round, as far as the wild card round, like I said, with the Chargers, I had them in the Super Bowl and representing the AFC. And in the NFC, I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the Super Bowl. So my Super Bowl pick was all off. I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the Los Angeles Chargers in the Super Bowl. And both of them made the playoffs, but both of them went home in the first round in embarrassing fashion, you know. So yeah. So yeah, I got the. I'm gonna say Chiefs 34, Jags 21. You know, I'm gonna say Chiefs 34, Jags 21. Next game we got the New York Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm intrigued by this game because, as I said earlier, I think the Giants got action. You feel me? And I know motherfuckers say, "Oh, nigga, you just saying that because nigga, the Niners is your team, and you want an easier path to the Super Bowl, and you think playing the Giants will be an easier path than playing the Philadelphia Eagles." No, that's not why I'm saying that. That might be true. That might be true, but that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying that off of the game in itself. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been saying all year, if y'all go back and look at some of my weekly recaps, the ones that I did throughout the year, and other NFL related episodes that I've done throughout this year, I have said at different times that regardless of the Philadelphia Eagles record, I never felt like they were just this super juggernaut team that cannot be beat. I just felt like it was just their year, and they just got, everything is going their way this year. And sometimes you get a team that has one of those type of years where it just clicks. You know what I mean? And you just have one of those type of years where you only lose 1 or 2 games or whatever. You know what I mean? But I just never seen. I never looked at the Eagles. Like I said, to me. Now, I don't look at them the same way that I look at the Minnesota Vikings. I believe that they're a much, stronger opponent than what the Minnesota Vikings would be. You know what I mean? Like, Minnesota was just straight frauds. You know what I'm saying? The whole year. I don't think the Eagles are frauds, but at the same time, I just don't see them as like a team that's is like, I look at them similar to how I look at the Bills. Even though the Bills here have now been doing this now for a few years now. You know what I mean? This is like the Eagles' first year on the scene as this era right here. You know what I'm saying? I know they made the playoffs last year, but last year the Eagles was what like the Seahawks was this year. Barely made the playoffs, snuck in there, you know what I mean, played Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay beat them. You know what I mean? But yeah. So yeah, I believe the Giants got action. I would not be shocked or surprised at all if the Giants win this game. One, you got Jalen Hurts with the little shoulder injury. You know what I mean? I don't know how healthy he is. You know what I mean? How healthy he ain't. But they talking like it's, obviously it's not 100%. You know what I mean? But he healthy enough to play. So will it hinder him, at all? Who knows? You know what I mean? And then you always got to be careful with the bye, with the team that had the bye, because you know what I mean, whether it's gonna be, whether they're gonna show rust or rest. You know what I mean? If they show rest, that means they came out and played well. If they show rust, rustiness, then they might, that might show, that they not ready to play. Sometimes, and not all teams don't play well coming off a bye. You did all that shit in the regular season to get all these wins and then get a bye. You know what I mean? Now you automatically in the second round, but it don't always. That having that bye don't always. I mean, a lot of times the team that have the bye don't win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Don't even make it to the Super Bowl and shit. So, with all that being said, though, on some real shit, I'm gonna go with the Eagles to win this game, though. Just because I do feel like they are the better team. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard, man. It's a part of me that want to pick the Giants, though. It really, it's a part of me that really want to pick the Giants to win this game. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles, bro. And I'm gonna say the Eagles pull out a close one. A close one. (24-23). You know what I mean? They win by a field goal or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say 24-23 Eagles. And they advance to the NFC Championship game. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, man, I'm not gonna be surprised if I'm wrong, and I'm not gonna be mad if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want the Giants to win, really, to be honest with you, just to prove myself right about the Eagles not being, the team that everybody think they is. They're a good team, but I just don't think that, you know what I mean? That, like, you can win a lot of games throughout the regular season. I don't mean nothing coming, going towards the postseason, though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Eagles gonna pull it out barely, but I'll give it to them. But I'm not gonna be surprised either way. You feel me? Sunday, the next day we got. Now, to me, Sunday is the big boy day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all of these is big boy games. You know what I'm saying? But that's big boy day right there. You know what I'm saying? So Sunday we got. First game we got Cincinnati Bengals against the Buffalo Bills. Now, this is a great matchup because you got two of the young phenom quarterbacks in the league. You know what I mean? I think you have the second and maybe the second and third best quarterback in the league. As far as this year, I always consider Tom Brady up there. You know what I'm saying? He was voted the best player in the league coming into this year, but obviously he's not going to be ranked like that going into next year if he still plays. But I still would, on a neutral site, I still would, with neutral teams and whatever, and both teams even and all that type of shit, it's still no quarterback that I would rather have than Tom Brady right now. You know what I'm saying? Even over Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? If we talking just one game, both teams are even offense and defense. Tom Brady got his, got the weapons that he need and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm still taking Tom Brady. But, he was on a bad team this year and he didn't play as well. So I know that's not the best, that's not the best take to have right now. You know what I'm saying? But between the Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, this is probably the second and third best quarterbacks in the league. So you got that. These are two great teams. The Bengals were in the Super Bowl last year. The Buffalo Bills probably should have been in the AFC Championship game last year playing against the Bengals. You know what I mean? If they could have held Patrick Mahomes for 13 seconds, but they wasn't able to do that. And then also, this is a rematch of the game just a few weeks ago where we had Damar Hamlin go into cardiac arrest on the field. This was that game. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's not, I believe that game, if I'm not mistaken, I think that one was in Cincinnati. You know what I'm saying? But this one is in Buffalo. If it was in Cincinnati, that would make it even more, a little more eerier. You know what I mean? But it's in Buffalo this time. So, but yeah. So you got all of that. You know what I mean? Both of these teams, you know what I mean, was on a, both teams, had players that was on the field to see that and everybody, so they both went through that. So you got all of that stuff going, you know what I'm saying, going on. So that's going to be a splendid, magnifical matchup. You know what I'm saying? So I will be watching that. And then we got the barn burner to close out the weekend. Dallas Cowgirls against my beloved San Francisco 49ers. And you know, Cowboys Nation, they doing a lot of talking right now. Yeah, oh man, Cowboys is doing a lot of talking right now. As far as they feel good. They done won that one little measly playoff game, and they acting like they just. I'm talking about fans. You know, some of the media members some of the ex-players that's aligned with the Cowboys because they used to play with them or whatever. Yeah. Motherfuckers doing a lot of talking. And that was our first road playoff win in 30 years, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so they feeling like they just gonna walk up in here in the Bay. You know what I'm saying? And they just gonna repeat that por favor. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even finna go down like that, bruh. We finna beat the dog shit out these niggas, man. Yeah. This a bat them niggas in the mouth kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Dallas Cowboys got to understand that y'all got to understand that y'all just had a preseason game, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't like to do the whole, you know, a team wins and then say, oh, well, they didn't play nobody type deal. But I'm sorry. I got to do it on this one. I know we're like, oh, nigga, you just doing that. You just saying that because it's Cowboys. You don't like the team. Nigga, that's your rival. This, that. You hate the Cowboys, blah, blah. Nah, bro. I would have said the same thing if the 49ers played the Buccaneers. Like, they just... That was a playoff team that wasn't really a playoff team, bro. I'm sorry. So y'all didn't really get a good sense of really what's finna go down, my nigga. Yeah. We coming with that hard hat, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We coming to bop niggas on top the head and bat niggas in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? Straight the fuck up and down. You know what I'm saying? We got hard hitters, man. And so, you know, it's finna go the fuck down. Yeah, they finna be in for a rude awakening. And, you know, it might be, you know, a close game. I won't be surprised at all if we blow them out, though. I won't. But, you know what I'm saying? You know, the one place where, real quick, I didn't give my pick for Cincinnati Bengals against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go with Cincinnati to win the game. I'm going to go 37-27 Cincinnati. Yep. Cincinnati going to put up 37 on them all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go 37-27. And so, yeah, I'm going to do it like that. And so, yeah, now back to Dallas against San Francisco. Yeah, nah, man, it's going to be a good one. It's a rivalry renewed. And, I mean, I'm talking about since about the the fourth quarter of the Cowboys-Buccaneers game, the shit talking has started. All online, all between me and all my niggas on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. I mean, it's going to fuck down. I mean, instantly, as soon as niggas, realize that the Cowboys is advancing and they gonna play the Niners, yeah, I mean, the beef is turned up, and you can feel it. You could feel. We all know it's all just a game, and but you could feel it in niggas' tones and how they typing this shit. You know what I'm saying? like niggas is it's turned the fuck up, and it's all I'm seeing on my Facebook feed or Meta, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I still call it Facebook. I don't give a fuck. It's all I see on my Facebook feed is all Niners, Cowboys, Niners memes, Cowboys memes, niggas is beefing, niggas is talking shit, niggas is joking around, you know what I'm saying, about the game, saying so, it's finna go to fuck down. It's fit to go to fuck down, and because this is all about bragging rights, man. It's all about bragging rights, you know what I mean? We didn't have the bragging rights the past year, actually the past 2 times we played them. We ended their season last year in the playoffs, and then the last time we played them before that, which was in the regular season, we beat them. I forget what year it was, but it was like 2 or 3 years ago, some shit like that. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Obviously, y'all know who the fuck I'm going with. I'm picking the Niners. I don't even know what the fuck the score gonna be, but I just know the Niners gonna win. So yeah, I'm going Niners over Dallas. I'll pick a score just to pick a score, but yeah, Dallas, man. That game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did not prepare y'all for the onslaught that awaits you, my brother.
Parking mode on.
Yeah. Y'all is in. You know what I mean? I'm talking about buckle your chin strap, nigga. Bring your hard hat, nigga, and boots, boy. You know what I mean? Because somebody gonna get slapped the dog shit out of. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's gonna be nobody in red and gold. No, that's not what I think. You know what I mean? But I say Frisco over Dallas. I say 49ers. $33. Cowgirls. Excuse me. I say Cowgirls. Say Niners. 33. Cowgirls. 24. $33-24 is the final score. Niners over the Dallas Cowboys. So that would put us at an NFC championship of Niners against Philly Eagles, if my prediction goes right, and an AFC championship of Chiefs Cincinnati, which would be a rematch of last year's AFC championship. So that would be dope. So yeah. But that's basically it, man. It was some dope games this past weekend, but this weekend right here is always my favorite playoff weekend, because you're down to the final 8 teams. You know what I'm saying? And so usually the Wildcard teams that were fringe playoff teams, usually they get eliminated in that first Wildcard weekend, as they should. You know what I mean? Sometimes, the team advances, or whatever, but most of the time. So usually for the divisional round weekend, you usually get the matchups that are just spicy in all games, both days. You know what I'm saying? And I would say we did get that this year. Although I feel like Sunday's games they're just better than Saturday's games. You know what I mean? The Chiefs and the Eagles, just because of one of the opponents. You know what I mean? Like the Chiefs and the Eagles, yeah, those are both teams that, warrant that type of stature for, big games. But the Jaguars and the Giants, who are both of their opponents respectively, that's what kind of make those matchups a little less attractive, but it's still attractive. It's still dope games that I'm gonna watch. It's just that the Sunday's games are more attractive. That's just, you know what I mean? But the Jags Chiefs, that's a great game just because of what it is. You know what I mean? It's the playoffs, it's the divisional round. But I think that's probably now. I do think if it was Chargers Chiefs, it would be a little bit more, you know what I mean? Because the Chargers got Justin Herbert. You got a great quarterback that always, you know what I mean? Now, Trevor Lawrence, I'm not trying to throw shade on Trevor Lawrence, but he's still young, you know what I mean? And if he able to pull this shit off, then yeah, he gonna quickly catapult himself into quarterback talks that he's already risen just by what he's done thus far. You know what I mean? He's already going to be expected to do a little more going into next year now. You know what I'm saying? Getting a playoff win and all that does that. You know what I mean? Justin Herbert, who I'm saying is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, he still has no playoff wins. So that says a lot. So, but that second game on Saturday, which is the Giants-Eagles, that's a little bit more intriguing, though. That's a little more intriguing. Like I said, I am intrigued by that game just to see how the Giants come out and if they can put a little pressure on the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if they can put a little pressure on him and see how the Eagles respond to that. You know what I mean? Because you done all that shit this year. Now, it's time it's go time. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. You feel me? But that's basically what it is, dog. After this week's games, I will be back to recap the divisional round. You know what I'm saying? And since I ain't been on Snax on Sports in a few weeks, you know what I mean? It is one or two older topics that have passed its time in the news cycle that I may want to address. The main one is the Skip and Shannon thing, and also Skip's tweet. That's really what it is. Skip's tweet during the Damar Hamlin situation. I want to speak on that. I just wasn't able to speak on it at the time because I just got too much shit going on. I literally didn't have time to sit down and do this right here, what I'm doing right now. Like, I've been talking to y'all for an hour and 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I like to do it. I keep telling myself I'm going to shorten my videos, and I am going to shorten my videos. But when I just get going, I just get going. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when I get to shortening my videos and I can, then maybe even if I got a whole bunch of shit going on, I can find, 10, 15, 20 minutes of time to do a quick episode. Or I ain't gonna say quick episode, do an episode. Because that's gonna be the length of my episode. I'm trying to make my I'm trying to make my episodes 20 to 30 minutes. You know what I mean? On average. Versus an hour to 2 hours, which is what I usually do. But yeah, that's it, man. Snax on Sports. I'm done, man. I'm gone, and I'll be back at y'all with another one. You feel me? Sometime soon. It ain't gonna be another 2 weeks. Like I said, I got some shit I want to talk about. So, I mean, I'll be back at y'all probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. You know, definitely sometime this week, within the next few days. But most likely tomorrow, I'll be back at y'all with another one. If not tonight. Snax on Sports. I'm gone.